I can't believe he's actually gone. I don't know what to say. I've just been over here saying some farewells. He's been gone for a few days now. It's just so hard to stand here and look at his house and know he's not in there, or over at the big dairy and Leo's not here and he's gone. He's really gone. It went so fast there at the end. I've been trying to keep myself busy with work. No, I probably should take some time to process everything, but that's not the kind of person I am. I won't slow down and deal with it until I'm forced to. So for now, just trying to move forward with work. So we've got the new mill set up here. It's doesn't use quite the same equipment that Javon had, so I don't love them constantly patrolling around here. So it's not going to be as efficient. It doesn't do as good of a job of separating out the various components, the stone chaff and the bits that are useful for pig feed. So I won't get any pig feed out of here. I won't get any stone out of here, just flour, and not as much as I was getting from Javon's factory. The equipment to do what he was doing over there was much more expensive, running with alternate fuel sources and everything. I couldn't really justify the price for what I'm doing, so it's just a regular old mill using kind of boring, outdated technology. Oh. I've got, the woman who was helping Nelson with the cows. Oh, this is gonna be hard to get used to. The woman who was helping Nelson with the cows is, over here in the dairy now. So I'm taking on more of the animal work, and I'm also helping out here in the dairy until we get some more people hired. Whew. Fortunately, Nelson was showing her what to do, and he and I worked together on some of the stuff he was developing in the dairy. So between the two of us, we've been able to cobble together most of what Nelson was doing there, but it's not going to be the same. So I'm over here right now. We're getting low on bedding for all of the animals, and I need to do some feed mix. I just was realizing the manure spreader's not here. I don't know if Javon's got it or where is it? So we were out of straw in the hayloft entirely. I brought these bales over from the bale storage I have over at the old yard, and I've been using a trick that Nelson taught me, which is you can drop them into the feed mixer, and the feed mixer has these large blades in it to cut up bales for feed, and you can shred the straw bales that way. So I can shred them, get them loaded into the hayloft, and then get them out as shredded straw, which makes it much easier to load into the animal enclosures as bedding, and also for use in making the feed mix. So I'll hop in here and do some more of these bales, show you what I mean. I've been just sort of slowly chipping away at this. Oh, I'm missing Nelson, having a very, very hard time with all this. Leo's back in the city with his mom while on the farm belt. He's not gonna stay at Nelson's house now. Nelson was only there for a little while, a year or two, not even that long, while Leo was missing, basically. Well, going on 2 years, actually. It will have been 2 years in August since Leo went missing. Oh no, looks like I got one of those other bales hooked. Gotta line up a little better. So, there's not as much of Nelson's personal effects in the house to clear out as there might have been if he'd been living there a very long time. And honestly, I think he and I both thought it was temporary while he and Lisa were separated until she got things back together. So, yeah, at some point Leo's gonna need to come out here, or he and I will work together, I guess, to get Nelson's stuff cleared out. Maybe I'll have the woman who's been helping him move in there, so she'll be near the dairy. I guess that probably makes the most sense. Gonna need to hire more people. The apartment building in the city is full now, and with people coming in to do the mill also, I'm gonna need more housing for people. If that's one of my selling points, to convince people to come work out here in the frontier, I've gotta get more going. So, I don't know. I don't think I can fit any more on that parcel where the farmer's market is located. So, here's the trick. Once I turn this on, the numbers on the dial go up as it's shredding the bales. And I know from the baler and from doing this a bunch of times at this point, it's 16,500 liters. So when it gets to 16,500 on the meter, I know that all the straw is shredded, and I can turn off the mixer and start loading it into the hayloft over there, or I guess I could load it directly into the enclosures. But it saves me the trouble of having... Oh, there we go. It's fully shredded. Saves me the trouble of having to buy a separate bale shredder, especially since most of the time I plan to work with loose material. But when I have more than I can fit in the hayloft, I'm going to have to bale it. for long-term storage. So yeah, get lined up here, and then I sort of blow it out where the feed would normally come out, except it's just straw. And I've got the motor going on the hayloft, so it'll go right into the hayloft. It's a pretty good system. And I can watch the meter to see when it's empty. And there we go. So, I've been doing a lot of this, just random odd jobs, trying to stay busy. No harvest now. It'll be time to harvest next month. The oats, I was wrong, I thought sorghum, but the oats are going to be ready first, and that's kind of nice because I can get straw off that field too. So the straw really only has to last me this month. So I'll do more of this off camera. It's not that interesting to watch once you've seen it done. Lisa did make it out here before the end. I'm really grateful Leo was able to convince her to come spend time with Nelson. So she was out here staying at the house with him for almost 10 days. I wish she had been here sooner to be with him in better health. He would have enjoyed it. He was going down going downhill so fast. At the end, it was hard to watch, and I'm sure it was hard for her. But I'm really glad she sucked it up and came out here to be here for him. So, I noticed when I was in the Palico taking wood into them that they've got some of those metal sheet metal for recycling. And I asked them, are they planning to take that to the recycling center? And they said no, they've let Department of Public Works know they don't have the equipment they need to take it over to the recycling center. So, just out of curiosity, it's been a long time since I did anything with the Department of Public Works. I gave Paul a call, and he's willing to have me come take metal for recycling to the recycling center again. That made me a fair amount of money when I did that before. And I would have to rent the equipment because the DPW doesn't have it. That's why it keeps sitting around and not getting done. But I talked to Eddie about getting that large container loader again, because that seemed to work pretty well for the metal. And Eddie is getting that in for me. So a little later this month, I'll head over to the shop, pick that up, and maybe I'll show you some metal recycling work going on. I need to bring in some more money. Thinking about what my next expansion plan is going to be. Eddie did let me know this month they got in a piece of equipment that lets you make the mounds that you need to plant root crops into. So you have to mound up the dirt when you plant carrots or parsnips or potatoes and beets, I guess. And they have a special sort of it's similar to a cultivator, but it's specifically to make those mounds, which you then plant into. That came in used, one of those pieces of equipment. It's like a 6 meter wide, so it's not huge. It was 70% off. I could not resist, with Jacob having been sort of pushing for us to diversify a little more, get into root crops. I thought, I have to get that. So that is also waiting for me at the shop. Maybe I'll go in the tractor a little bit later and pick that up and show you that. And Rachel's going to recondition it for me because it's used. It's got a decent number of hours on it. but I think it'll be okay. I don't know how much we're going to do in root crops because it's such a time-consuming, slow process, and I'm not sure where to do it. That's part of why I want to bring in some more money. I was thinking if I want to break up any of the fields I already have, or if maybe I want to like prepare a new field that's smaller, or a couple maybe, for root crops similar to my sugar beet field, but maybe even smaller than that, while I figure out what that looks like. So if I can buy the next parcel over in that direction or over in this direction, I'll probably do that for planting some root crops. So yeah, I want to get some more money in for that. I also sold some more. This month was soybean oil. And that brought in, I want to say like $30,000 thereabouts. So that helped with the building of the mill. The mill cost around a little over $100,000 to put in. I had to do a little more leveling. I thought I had leveled the ground over there pretty well, but it wasn't quite level enough there for the underground grain reservoir, where you sort of drop it in the grate and it goes into this little underground grain storage tank and then gets processed up into the plant. I needed it to be more level in order to put that tank in, so that cost a little more money. So yeah, things are coming along, aside from my very, very sad news about Nelson. It's just a regular month on the farm otherwise, so I'll bring you back in, I guess, when I'm doing something more interesting than shredding straw. Catch you later. Well, I'm over here by Palico, and I do not have the equipment that I was planning to rent. I rented something different. I can learn. I don't know if you who are watching now saw the episode before where I picked up these large stacks of metal to take over to the recycling center. I had this really nice container, sort of like lifter. It's kind of like a telehandler, except it comes in from above with sort of a crane, and it's capable of moving very heavy loads safely. It's designed to like pick up containers on and off trailers and move them around. The problem with that is it has kind of a high arc on the crane that goes over the top of the piece of equipment, and it was too high to fit through some gate type things. There are some gate type things around the farm belt that are sort of like this, with these arms that come down to keep people from just going in and out, but with like an arch over the top. And I ran into one of them with the equipment last time and could not get it inside that area. So I ended up having to rent the wheel loader from the shop to get that piece of metal that was behind that gate. I don't like using this wheel loader for this task. It's not quite up to the task. The stuff is just a bit too heavy, and the forks, doesn't matter how wide you put them. I mean, they're not, they're kind of flimsy, to be honest, relative to the weight of this. And also, it's just very tippy. Like, it wants to tip over to the left or the right when you try to move, especially because this is an articulating wheel loader, and so when you articulate the front joint, it kind of wants to tip everything. But I was smart. I took the list of places that Paul gave me from the Department of Public Works and went around and looked at them this time, ahead of time, in my little side-by-side. And I found there are 2 sites out in the frontier where there is metal to pick up to bring to the recycling. One is at the oil refinery and the other is at the agricultural co-op. Both of those have those archway things that I cannot get through with that crane. So it wouldn't be possible for me to get the equipment into those places. And it's very expensive to rent it. It's like over $10,000. And it ended up being super cheap to rent this wheel loader. And I rented just a low loader to put the sheet metal stacks on. So I need to not overburden this. If you watched the last time I did this, I also tipped over the truck and the trailer with the metal on it. I think I got it piled up too high, with center of gravity too high, so I'm trying to be smart this time. I may make a lot of mistakes, but I try not to make the same one twice in a row. So let's hop in here. Looks like this has been pretty used. Not by me. And see what we can do here. If I can get in. I don't know if I'm quite lined up. I don't like that articulating front end. I mean, it's handy for maneuvering, but oh geez. When you're trying to move something like this, it's very awkward. It just moves in like fits and starts. Maybe people who use it all the time are smoother with it than I am. Okay. Just leave it real low. Yeah, see, that just doesn't fill me with confidence when moving this much weight around. Oh, I hate it. Fortunately, nobody else is around. I'm only at risk of damaging my own equipment. Well, there's the trailer, I guess. Ooh. Holy shnikes. I don't think I'll really damage the wheel loader. I might just damage the pallet forks, maybe? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm trying to get it lined up to the back part so I'm not off angle when I put this on. Jeebums. That's awful. Okay. That's the best I can do. Oh man. I want to tip forward too, apparently. I do not like this, but this makes such good money. Oh boy, oh boy. Alright, well. I was trying to see if I could fit two side by side on here, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't want to tip it, or I don't want to like have it up so high because that gets the center of gravity up and stack them. Oh, jeez. No, that's way too wide. Even if I could get this to get on here straighter, there's no way I could fit two of these side by side. No way. Well, I think I should do the smart thing and just take one at a time so I don't flip the trailer again. So I'll come back for this, and this is going to be a very slow process. I won't make you stick around for all of it. I will get this load secured as best I can with these straps. Given the weight of this thing, it's kind of comical to think this is actually secure. And I'll bring you in periodically. Maybe if I go to a part of the farm belt that I don't normally go to, so you can see what's there. I guess I should probably move the wheel loader out of the way so that when I bring this trailer back, it's easier to get in here. Also, so I'm not blocking other people who might be coming in here. I'll just put you back here for now. Well, you know, it'd be even smarter, I think, if I just lined up so that I was ready to go and pick it up next time. So why don't I do that? Got it, got it. No, I'm way off center. I hate the articulated equipment. Oh, jeez. See? Maybe I just nudged on purpose to line up. Yeah. Well, it's gonna be off center. I don't know how much better I can get, really. We'll call that good enough. Get you under here. Can I get you under here? No? It's hard to see the forks, too. Given the, there we go. I think I've got the forks tilted really badly. Okay. Alright, we'll call that there. So that's sort of waiting for me to get back. I think the weight is on the ground. I'm not, like, lifting it up. Yeah. Okay, we're good. Alright, so this is ready for when I get back, and I'll take this over to the recycling center. And yeah, I'll bring you in now and again as I'm picking stuff up, just so you can see parts of the map I don't normally show you. Parts of the farm belt I don't venture to very often. And then I'll let you know, I guess, what my final total is. I think this is really all I have to do for the rest of the month. I should drag this out. I don't want to blow through this in one go and then not have anything to distract me. Okay, I'm gonna get into my job. I'll catch you later. Well, I'm over here, not far from Ravenwood, actually. It's sort of off in that direction. And I've been here before when I was clearing dirt, but I don't think I brought you in to see at that time. I feel okay doing this right now because the farm is vacant at the moment. There is a stack here, which is why I'm here, but this is actually a really nice farm. It's just vacant right now in the farm belt. It's got this nice storage shed here for larger pieces of equipment, maybe bales. Got a very nice silo here, sort of a different style than I've got out there in the frontier. It's quite a nice farmhouse. It's much nicer than my tiny little house that I've got. Check that out. Little garage. I don't know if there's a shop in there or what, and it's just surrounded by fields. Right up here, I guess this is a root crop. This has got those mounded rows, like I'm going to be planting into, I guess, carrots? This looks like carrots to me, the greenery on top. Yeah, my row maker cultivator thing, I'll learn what it's really actually called. Will make nice mounded rows like this for me to plant into once I get a specialized seeder to plant into it. But yeah, this is just a really nice farm down here by the river. Water's over here. It's so beautiful. I love what I'm doing out there, and I think it's pretty amazing the transformation that we've made happen already in the frontier in the few years I've been out there. But this just seems real easy and pleasant. That was a nice big silage pit, my goodness. Oh, this shed actually looks a lot like the one I've got out there between the road and... Oh, this is exactly the same shed. That's so funny. It's out there between the road and the cow barn. I stopped using it when I built the depot, because this is much smaller. But yeah, that's cool. What do we got over here? I guess this is a manure pit. This is some sort of shed with different bays. I guess it looks like this is some sort of cow feeding area. It looks like some little bit of stains left from having some hay and some straw and some silage in here. I think that's a fancy automated cow feeder. So this must be a cow barn. That means this must be a manure pit, I bet. That's a mighty big pit. That'll hold a lot of poop. That's a big barn, too. It's way bigger than what I've got out there in the frontier. Oh, hey! There are actually cows in the field. And a gap in the fence. I don't love that. Why are there cows in the field if the farm is vacant? That's Ravenwood over there, I think. Or is that the old horse farm across the river? That's the old horse farm, so Ravenwood's more off in that direction. So I guess there's two vacant farms right here on either side of the river, smack in the middle of the farm belt. Nice. I gotta say, if life had been different, I would have been very happy here, I think. This would have been just such an idyllic break from the city, without all the drama that goes along with being out there in the frontier and trying to figure out what the heck is even going on. This feels so far removed from UFOs and people leaving me mysterious messages. I am a little bit wistful right now. I've made about $30,000 so far on just the 2 stacks that I took over to the recycling center from Palico. So I'm getting about $15,000 for each stack I'm taking. There's one here. There are actually a couple over at Ravenwood. You've been there with me before, so I probably won't show you that. I think there's some over at the mill near Ravenwood, and then getting a little bit farther out, there are some over in the quarry. And I have actually cleared the dirt all the way out there when I was doing the dirt clearing for Paul. Clearing dirt off these side roads here in the city, or in the farm belt anyway. Everything in the wall is the city to me. It's so weird now that I live out there in the frontier. Like when I was in the districts, I would never have considered the farm belt to be the city. But now that I'm out there in the frontier, the farm belt is behind these walls, and it's the city. Just not quite the same. Anyway, plenty more stacks where that came from, so this will be a good month, assuming I don't tip over the tractor or the wheel loader or my truck. Wish me luck. Okay, I'm over here at the mill in town. I don't know if I have had you all in here before. I can't remember if I brought you through here when I was clearing dirt, or if you may have never seen this massive complex. There were a couple of piles of sheet metal over here near this utility box. I've got one of them loaded on to the trailer, and I already took the other one to the recycling center. I'm over 300,000 now. I'm at 320. Check this complex out. This is just so massive. When I started producing goods, and then there was that whole frontier farmed restriction put in place, I contacted the mill about bringing my stuff here to process, and they wouldn't do it because they can't easily keep it separate from the other material they process. So they would have to keep it separate, package it separately. And when you see the massive size they're working on here, I guess that makes sense. But it's a shame. What I'm doing out there in the frontier with my little mill is going to be nothing on the scale of this. This is just, I can't imagine how many people it takes to keep this running, how much material they must process. It's wild. This is over near Ravenwood Farm. This is the backside of Ravenwood's main dairy area, where back in the day I would often come and find Nelson working with their cows. So yeah, I've got this loaded and I will take it over to the recycling center, but I thought I would go ahead and hop in the wheel loader and drive it by itself over to the quarry, because I know they've got some sheet metal over there, and the road gets pretty rough up in this direction. So I want to, I think, not try to drive the trailer with this wheel loader on it up that rough road, because I'm worried it's too high in terms of center of gravity and I might tip it. So I'm just being conservative given the tipping I did with the trailer last time with too much sheet metal on it. So far so good. No near misses or anything like that. Driving slow and steady. It's been a big improvement having taken all the dirt off these roads. See, check this out. It's very steep and not level. Yeah, having taken all the dirt off the roads has been a big improvement, especially over near the recycling center where I wiped out the truck last time. It's just a nice smooth grade to get up there now. There's a couple spots where it's bumpy, but it's nothing like it used to be when all that dirt was still scattered everywhere. I know it's something I did gradually over a long period of time, but I feel good about it. I'm glad that I was able to do that, and I'm sure a lot of people find it helpful given how much of a difference I am noting. Okay, so this is the quarry down here. I have to get across this bridge, which always makes me nervous. Oof. Okay. Well, here we go. Oh. Oh, I don't like it. Okay. So I think they've got some sheet metal over near the buildings somewhere. That's what Paul said. Let's go find out. It's back in here somewhere. Is it over here? No, although they've got some containers there. I guess I can always stop and ask him if I can't find it. Up here, maybe? Oh, there it is. Okay. So I will walk over to the truck, take it into town, drop off that one that I've got, and then come back and get this one, just so I'm not doing any danger of tipping, especially given how steep the road is getting up here. I think it would probably not go well for me if I tried to put 2 stacks on the trailer like that. Yeah, so I'll just leave this here. This thing is wild. Hey there. Look at this place. I don't want to go down there because I don't work here. It goes right in under the mountainside there. They've just got stacks of whatever type of metal this is. I don't even know. Some sort of ore, I guess. Oh, looks like they got a bunch of stone down there. What's in the, I see some equipment back in the mine proper. Some trucks and things. I'd love to go down there someday and check it out. It's outside of my wheelhouse. I have no idea what's involved in mining, but that is very cool. I've spoken with him a few times about maybe mining out in the frontier on that property I have over there near Old Town, where I put up the Flying Saucer Pizzeria. Given this, if what is over there is anything like this, there must be a lot of material that I could extract from that property. But this is very rocky, and that over there, I don't know, maybe it's just covered in dirt. I don't know. Hard to say. Maybe someday I'll find out. Maybe not. Oh, there's a tree down over there. Okay, I'll get back to my truck, get that load taken over, and this might be the last you see of me. This is, I think the most interesting other thing to show you. I think I've showed you the sawmill and the animal dealer before. They've got some metal over there, and those are the last 2 places. So I must be getting low in how much money I can make. If I can get $350 before the end of the month, that would be nice. That would be like over $150,000 from this task. Which, making that much in a month for hauling some stuff, that's pretty good. We'll see. I'll catch you later. Well, I thought I might be done recording for the month, but I remembered there are 2 destinations out here in the frontier where I need to pick up metal to recycle. And that might be interesting for you all to see. So I'm just leaving now the oil refinery. They had 2 stacks, which I took over to the recycling center. And that has been a whole interesting thing. I've learned the hard way. I can come in from the main road, but I can't go out that way because the trailer, the low loader, is too low. There's a curve up by where it hits the road that I can come down but not up with the low loader, especially with it loaded with metal on it. So yeah, I have to go out this way. And the same thing applies with the wheel loader. It's not quite as heavy as the metal, but it's pretty heavy. So I can't get out the front road. I have to go out this sort of side path. It's a little sandy and messed up, but you know, it's whatever. It has been a long, busy month. I'm so tired. Everything has passed in kind of a blur. But I'm up to over 400 and around 425,000 almost. And I think they have at least 2 stacks out at the oil refinery. And that would, I'm getting around $30,000 for every 2 stacks, around 15 per individual stack. Getting into that sand, it's no good. So that's, I'm going to be over 450,000 by the time all is said and done, I think. I have had to pay another round of rental fees on the trailer and the wheel loader, but that's okay. It's a much more affordable setup. No! Oh, jeez. Well, I was able to get the metal over this hump, but apparently I hit it just the wrong way and bottomed out the low loader. Oh, jeez. Alright. Well, gonna have to deal with that. I was gonna show you over there at the co-op. Fortunately, no traffic yet. It's over there at the end of the road, past my main yard. But now I've got to deal with this. I don't want to do it on camera. That's gonna make me look even more incompetent than this does. So I will, I'll catch you later after this is fixed up. Yeah, I'll bring you in once I get over there. Okay, well that wasn't so bad. I made it over here to the co-op. It was just a minor bottom out, but that's not the first time I did that. I bottomed out on the other road on this trailer, so I'm sure it's got to be scratched up under there. I'm probably going to have to pay extra to get that fixed up. But yeah, this is the agricultural co-op. This is a huge operation. And you can see it's really not far from my main yard. My main yard is where those trees are, just over there. That's my house. And you can see in this direction, here's the metal. 2 stacks, so that'll be another almost $30,000. So that is going to get me over 450 to end the month, which is pretty great. But yeah, you can see sort of over in this direction. This is such a big operation that they've got a train stop directly in a silo here, which is wild. They do import-export to the other areas outside of the city, in and out between the city and the, he's giving me side-eye, I better not stand around here. Between the city and the other areas we do trade with. There's Old Town right there. The pizzeria is out that way. You can almost see it. I don't want to stay on the train tracks. It's just up that way. And there's my cow yard over there. So yeah, I don't come over here. This operation is way too big to really want anything to do with me. They deal with like a wholesale distribution type level, and I'm just too small to have anything useful to do for them. But this is quite an operation. Imagine if the farm ever got big enough one day to have our own train stop. That would be wild. They are called a co-op too, but they're a very different sort of co-op than mine. So yeah, this is the last of the metal. I'll get this loaded on the trailer, get this taken back into the city, and return the wheel loader, and I'll be done for the month, I guess. I will catch you next time. Hopefully it's a little brighter note. It's losing loved ones is part of life. It's that whole cycle, right? Birth, death, rebirth. Winter, spring, summer. The whole thing. Doesn't make it less sad. I'm gonna miss him.